Hello everyone, my name is Nick, and today we're going to talk about video game controversies. While the video game industry has been around for quite some time, it has had its fair share of deep and dark controversies. I'm not going to talk about every single video game controversy we have, because to be honest, there's quite a lot, and if I did, this video would be longer than the 4-hour class we're in. Can you stop going out? So without further ado, join me as we take a deep and dark dive into video game controversies. My hand hurts so bad. My thumb hurts so bad. Like, it feels like it's on fire. I think I have third-degree burns. The debate around violent video games has been around since pretty much forever, and it's probably going to go on until probably the end of time. The first video game to get this kind of media attention was a game called Death Race. It was an arcade machine released in, I forgot. It was in April 1976. The game received a bunch of backlash because in the game it had like simulated violence. And in the game, you run over these little humanoid figure things. Even the National Safety Council described the game as insidious, morbid, gross, and sick. Oh God, this sounds like a really bad video game. This sounds horrible. How could they release this? You know what? Just for educational purposes, let's take a look at some of the gameplay of Death Race. But I'm gonna have to warn you, viewer discretion is advised. Oh my God, it's too violent. Hey, Daisy, look away, look away. This is too violent for you. You can't look at it. It's too violent. Good, Daisy. I know this game seems a little tame, especially considering we now know what games we have now in modern day. But it's kind of funny to look back and see how this was gruesome and violent. At least a little funny, right? I mean, it's kind of funny, right? I think one person in the back laughed. No? No, I'm just here. No, okay. How's y'all's day going? What do y'all eat for breakfast, huh? Cereal? Maybe some bacon? How was y'all's Thanksgiving? Bad? Mine was bad too. I have to record this stupid video for our class. I'd rather be eating turkey, but I guess that's not happening. Yeah. I'm gonna continue the video. Moving forward in time to 1993, video games like Mortal Kombat, Doom, and Night Trap came out, which were all faced with controversy due to their violent content. A congressional hearing was held on December 9th, 1993, where members of the combined United States Senate Committees on Government Affairs and the Judiciary held congressional hearings on spokespeople for the video game companies like Nintendo and Sega.
Rating system will help parents determine which games are appropriate for children of different ages, and that is exactly what our proposed legislation contemplates. But I must say here that creating a rating system is, in my opinion, the very least the video game industry can do, not the best they can do. It would be far better for America's parents and children if the industry simply kept the worst violence and sex out of their games.
Clearly, whatever Congress might do would affect a large, diverse group of consumers, young and old, in a volatile industry only in its infancy. Information, not regulation, is the appropriate policy. Building on the motion picture industry model, the Sega rating system applies one of 3 classifications to each interactive program released by Sega. GA for general audiences, MA13 for mature audiences age 13 and over, and MA17, adult appropriate, not suitable for those under 17.
The past year, some very violent and offensive games have reached the market. And of course, I'm speaking about Mortal Kombat and Night Trap. And let me say that for the record, I want to state that Night Trap will never appear on a Nintendo system. Obviously, it would not pass our guidelines.
Oops. Shortly after this hearing, the ESRB was created to monitor and regulate the content in video games. This is basically how the video game industry self-regulated itself without the government interfering with it. The ESRB made this rating system where it basically categorizes video games based on their content. For instance, here's E for everyone, games for anybody, self-explanatory. T for teen, that means it could have some blood, some violence, but it's not super dramatic. Of course, we have M for mature. This is for games that have like blood and gore, Doom, Mortal Kombat. Think of that. They fall into this category. And then we have adults only. We're not going to talk about adults only at all because they mostly consist of... Even after this rating system was made, the video game industry was still faced with backlash based on the violence. Here's some video games that caused some major backlash. One of these was Manhunt. I'm pretty sure this game got banned in some places due to the intense violence. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 specifically. The Call of Duty series has already had some backlash due to the violent content, but this one especially. And if you've already played the game, you know where this is going. In the mission, No Russian faced severe backlash.
A popular new video game actually allows you to be a terrorist and kill people. Take a look.
The build-up has been going on for some time, but not without controversy. Last week, some graphic scenes of violence from an airport massacre in the game leaked onto the internet seems we've chosen not to broadcast, prompting questions in Parliament about the content of video games.
And of course, I cannot go without mentioning Grand Theft Auto, the entire Grand Theft Auto series. They didn't like these games at all. You can do a bunch of terrible stuff in Grand Theft Auto. You can blow up people, planes, cars, houses.
Stop firing rockets at my house!
The video game industry was sued a bunch of times by multiple different people. One of the main people is Jack Thompson right here. Jack Thompson went after and sued Rockstar Games for games like Bully and Grand Theft Auto. He thought that these games could cause violence in real life and could lead to things like school shootings. Well, that's pretty much it for violent video games. What are your thoughts? Do you think video games cause violence? Do you think getting a tactical nuke in Call of Duty will make you want to blow up the world? I don't know, maybe. I'm not a psychiatrist. Loot boxes. What is a loot box? A loot box is a thing in a video game where basically you can get a randomized cosmetic item. What cosmetic item you're gonna get? I don't know really, because they're all randomized and they all have different rarities. These loot boxes are usually bought with real money, so you're using real money to get a randomized cosmetic item. Usually we'll get to that part later. But yeah, these loot boxes cause controversy. Why? Oh, colorful items. Colorful little animations when you open them, randomized items that you barely have a chance of getting. Oh, what other industry that sounds like that is also very randomized and has colorful animations to make you want to do it more? Yeah, this is just basically gambling. The video game industry received major backlash for these things because it's basically unregulated gambling. Who cares that it's unregulated gambling? It's just cosmetic items. Well, now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes here. Some games were so greedy that they put important items such as characters and maybe weapons that could help you in the game inside these loot boxes. So the only way to gain an advantage over other people is by opening these loot boxes. This is known as a pay-to-win system. Basically, if you pay money, you have a better chance at winning the game. Games that have important items in the loot boxes are usually called gacha games. Some examples of gacha games are, of course, Star Wars Battlefront, FIFA, Madden, and the video game industry was also sued a bunch of times for these. I'm pretty sure they're banned in some countries such as Belgium, and that's about it. Video game addiction. I mean, come on. You can't get addicted to a video game. You get addicted to like drugs and gambling. Like you can't get addicted to. Oh, can we get that off the? Can we cut that? Stop. Okay, I might have a slight problem. Yeah, it might be. It might be a problem. The cases of video game addiction have gotten so bad that the WHO, World Health Organization, whatever you want to call it, classified it as gaming disorder. So it's in their official handbook. This, of course, caused major controversy because, people don't want to be addicted to things. So, yeah, don't play too many video games. Just get off of League of Legends. Go outside. Drink some water. Run around in the fields of grass and appreciate nature. Get off League of Legends, man. I know that show was good, but Don't play the game. Don't play the game. Go outside.
Outside!
Cyberpunk 2077 was a game that released on December 10th, 2020. This was a very promising game. I mean, just look at it. Look at the trailers that they released. That's a cool cityscape. And the game promised these alternate branching paths. And if you make a decision in one mission, it's gonna completely change the entire story.
And that was just a glimpse of how complex the branching storyline in Cyberpunk 2077 can get. Every decision you make will have consequences. Your choices will shape how the world reacts to you.
And it was developed by CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red was a very well-respected company because they made The Witcher 3, and The Witcher 3 was amazing. This game probably, I'm just gonna say it, this seems like the best game ever made. This is probably gonna be the best video game ever made. Let's look at some of the gameplay of when it came out.
Practical.
Say no more, please.
Accept my apologies for the confusion.
It's terrible. The entire game was just a complete scam. This was not how the game was at launch.
We've greatly enhanced our crowd and community systems to create the most believable city in any open world game to date.
All of those promised features were not in the game.
Cyberpunk has been taken off the PlayStation Store. You can no longer buy it digitally, and Sony is now officially offering refunds.
Even if you press done, you will find that no results available for Cyberpunk.
Retailers like GameStop and Best Buy are also allowing customers to get refunds.
This game released completely broken, had a bunch of promises that it didn't fulfill, and it caused the people in the game industry to become extremely mistrusting of the game publishers. Because they can make this cool trailer, right? But it can release, like that. And while there's probably some other games that came before Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk was the one that really launched the mistrust of game publishers. Also, they updated the game, so now the game's actually good. I think you should play it. They also had an anime and a DLC I heard that was pretty good. And that's about it. That's about it. That's all the video game controversies that I'm going to cover in this video. So that's about it. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all have a good day. I don't really know how to end this. I don't know. Here's some video game recommendations. If y'all want to play some cool games, especially Silent Hill 2. That's a good one. It's a very fun and lighthearted game. Yeah, that's about it.
Amogus.